1,400 miles of streams have been buried, but the coal company calls these ephemeral streams. I have a hard time with their terminology. I looked up ephemeral. It means not lasting long, transitory. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, some of these streams that all have been gone: Spring Branch, Gray's Fork, Lick Fork, Quicksand Creek, Little Caney Creek, Possum Holler Creek, Andy's Branch, Upper Laurel Creek, Hazel Patch Creek, Defeated Creek, Cram Creek, Shepherd's Branch, Pine Creek, Upper Blackberry Creek, Millstone Creek. Ladies and gentlemen, not one more. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I are a hell of a lot more ephemeral than these streams. Ladies and gentlemen, this magnificent marble structure you see above us, this structure is a hell of a lot more ephemeral than these streams. These streams have been here for eons and eons, millennia upon millennia, carved out of the mountains. They came out of these primordial seas. They were here when the icebergs left this land, and they left these streams to feed our people. They are not ephemeral. They're more long-lasting than any committee inside this building. That's why we say, not one more mile. They have given more life than we can scarce imagine. But Bill Kaler of the coal industry says that all we need is to transport water from point A to point B. That's the keys in there in the center of power. We're out here and we say, not one more mile. They bring life, they sustain life, they share life, they are life. And like an old Cherokee sage said to me, if you muck around with things that are holy, you bring destruction on yourself, on your children, and on your children's children. And that's why we say, not one more mile. I don't have to quote statistics. We know that sedimentation is spiking. We know that the invertebrates that are the bottom of the chain that feed this world are gone. We know that water supplies have been destroyed. And that's why we say, not one more mile. So today we grieve the loss of these streams. And we grieve that our own people for jobs have been bound to an economy that forces them to destroy their own land. And that's why we say, not one more mile. The psalmist says the nation has made a trap for itself. Its feet caught in its own snare of its own making. Each year our streams are buried, and upwards of 94 million tons of CO2 go up in the air from this state, and there's no end to it in sight, and that's why we say, not one more mile. Meanwhile, there is green jobs, there is green energy, there's a stimulus bill steaming its way through Congress. Steaming its way through our national consciousness. We have no more excuses. There is a way out. We know the way. A green economy is already here. There are jobs. And President Obama is in Texas right now, heralding a way out of the trap. And that's why we say, not one more mile. But he ain't coming here. He ain't coming here because we're too busy trying to justify blowing up mountains and covering streams. And that's why we say, not one more mile. We're too busy throwing money at fossil fuels, one fossil fuel to make another fossil fuel that is twice as dirty. And that's why we say, not one more mile. I went into Hyman, Kentucky at the Rite Aid. She waved goodbye to her son who was going to the mines. She turned to me, a total stranger. stranger. She said, he's got me worried to death. I said, I know. Some people, they don't feel like they have an option. She said, that's what he tells me. He has no option for jobs. She looked at the door. She turned to me and said, he's got me worried to death. She said, I promised his father. Somebody needs to keep that promise. That's why we say, not one more fire. And here's the deal, my old ephemeral ones, here's the challenge before us. If you join us today and tomorrow and the rest tomorrows, that one day will come when our grandchildren will sit at your knee and you'll look them in the eye and you'll say, honey, I was there when we started to turn this thing around. I was there when we started to turn this thing around. They challenged my job. They threatened to take my job, but I was there. They told me to shut up, but I was there. They took my water, but I was there. I was there when we started to turn this thing around. I was there when we said, not one more fire. Somebody needs to keep that promise. Somebody needs to stand. If we keep standing, we keep the promise of our ancestors and our sons and daughters, that we can say we were there to keep that promise, that we said, not one more fire.